last couple of comics this evening. We got a couple people who are doing it for the very first time. Coming up on this show, that's not the case with your next gentleman. Please put your hands together for MJD, parentheses, your boy. Woo! Woo! Your boy!
Internet? Yeah, I forgot. It's actually kind of interesting about that. The last time I did an open mic, which was Wednesday in Northern Virginia, I made a joke about sit-down comedy, and now, you know, you joke about shit and then it gets real, like tonight. So this is some real stuff right now. I'm from Northern Virginia. I have family and friends that live here, so this is the first time I've done an open mic here. I'm kind of feeling the vibes here. This is nice and intimate. So for the sake of this, I'm going to take it back to the 1915. I'm going to do it old school. So instead of internet, when I go on, I would be newspaper, fine print, which takes me back to something. When you send someone a text, whether it's, you know, someone in your family or a girl or something, whether you're drunk or not, you can't really take it back once you send it. But if you are 1915, you could send some mail, and then if you sober up the next day, you realize if you had a horse, you could probably catch the Pony Express and intercept that mail. If you couldn't do that, you could still show up and be like, oh, someone sent this mail because they were trying to break up our love. So there's several ways you could do it, but the most important thing is that you would have some time. Also, in 1915, you wouldn't have to worry about people on social media talking shit about you. And I mean, I think you could still do a duel back in the day. I mean, I'm not sure. Are there any historian people here? Anyone that knows anything about history? No one knows about stuff that went down in 1915? People know about stuff that went down in 1975? Okay. Alright. Internet. Very slow internet in 1975. It was big-ass computers in big rooms for big people. But anyway, I digress. Sometimes I think to myself, cats pass judgment on people. Now, what if cats were actually judges? I mean, does that mean that because they pass judgment their entire life, they don't have to be a lawyer, they can just step right up? Yeah, so next time a cat looks at you, just imagine like a little gavel and they're probably like passing some kind of verdict on you. Anyway. Are there any superheroes in the room? I mean, it's okay, I won't expose your secret identity. You can just wink at me and then I'll acknowledge. I seem to have gotten a couple acknowledgement. Yeah, that guy put his glasses up, so that's a good sign. Alright, so we'll be safe if shit goes down, because there's a couple superheroes in here. It's okay, I mean, I won't tell people. Yeah. Speaking of superheroes, if the apocalypse goes down, what happens to superheroes? They would be working overtime, so then you think to yourself, well, some of them would probably throw in the towel and just be like, fuck this, I'm out. Like Superman, I mean, he could just leave Earth. I mean, it's not a big deal. Batman would be like, oh shit, I should have prepared that bat space shuttle, which, you know, he probably didn't because he has all this money, but it's not a realistic thing. Anyway, Bigfoot, I think, would be the star of the apocalypse. He has big feet, he's hairy, so if he goes to cold places, he would still be cool. People wouldn't believe that he exists. You know he's not a zombie, so he would be legit. So I'm going to give a shout out to Bigfoot. I mean, I know he's somewhere out there. Bigfoot, my boy. Tears for Bigfoot. I cry for Bigfoot because no one else will. It's kind of like the Trail of Tears, but with Bigfoot. Yeah, anyway, is anybody else here from Nova by any chance? Any transplants or whatnot? Everyone here is straight up like from Richmond, like Broad Street or something like that. Okay, so if I step outside of this bar and I start talking some trash, no one's going to have my back then, I guess. Alright. I see how it is. It's a pretty tough crowd. Tough crowd. 1915, please take me back. Actually, 1915, I think my great-grandfather, who I kind of resemble, I wonder if he did stand-up or sit-down comedy. Stuff was probably more real back then, because if you bombed, you know, well, there wasn't an option for bombing, because I don't think they really had bombs, they had dynamite. I wonder if they actually threw tomatoes at people, or someone actually literally got shot because they were terrible at comedy. And it's kind of like, I'm going to shoot that guy next time. I shot that guy last week, but he survived. You know, that kind of stuff gets real. This place has a nice little architecture right here. I mean, it's a nice observation. Very, very intimate here. Someone dropped a pin, you could probably hear it. Anyway, I think that's about my time. My name's MJD. I'm your boy because no one else wants to be. Richmond, stop your internet, fight that shit, take it back. Bigfoot, my boy, I'm out.
MJD, parentheses, your boy. That's how he told me to pronounce it. That's how I did it. We are getting down to the last couple of comics.